All right, less than 48 hours now until Solyndra Execs testify before Congress, but will they utter a repeat? Republican lawmakers outraged these energy CEOs and CFO are not going to be speaking by now, saying that the executives will plead the fifth, as you're probably hearing now, maybe make an opening statement, but that's it, not answering any questions. My next guest leading that hearing and not too happy about it, Republican Congressman Cliff Stearns. Congressman, obviously you can't, knock blood out of a stone here, but what do you do?
Well, Bruce Harrison, who's the CEO, met with us in July and said everything was okay with Solyndra. His CFO, Mr. Stone, is also going to take the fifth, so we're a little puzzled why both of them were so optimistic in July, and then shortly after the break, the company went bankrupt and then went into serious problems so that the FBI raided him 2 days later. So we have lots of questions, and even though they will take the fifth, a lot of these questions I think the public should hear.
Well, there's no doubt there are a lot of legitimate questions, Congressman, but you know how this goes, and I think I could pretty much predict what will happen. Under the advice of my attorney, I cannot answer that question or variations thereof. So you're not going to hear anything. So what are we going to see here? What?
Well, I think this is developing. Mr. Upton and I, who's chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, we both signed a letter today to Secretary Chu, who is the Secretary of the Department of Energy,
right,
asking for all his communications and email with the White House dealing with Solyndra. We also sent, Neil, a letter to the two hedge funds asking for their communications between the Department of Energy and them, particularly dealing with the subordination of the loan for taxpayers.
What have you heard from either?
Well, we just sent a letter today asking for a deadline. I think it's the 26th of September. We want a deadline from them. But as you can see, Neil, this takes a great deal of effort to look at these documents and put together questions that are meaningful rather than just trying to veneer the surface. So I think between the Secretary of Energy, who we hope to have him testify under oath.
I bet you he's going to claim executive privilege, right? I mean, I know how these things go under both parties, so he's going to claim executive privilege, my prediction. I could be surprised. I don't know about the hedge fund guys. I don't know about the hedge fund guys. But is there any talk about granting anyone immunity? Or are we too early for that?
Well, I don't know if we're too early for that, but frankly, we are starting to hear from people on the street, or people who were involved with the Bush administration, people who were involved with the Obama administration, tangentially, who saw that how Solyndra actually built the building and some of the things that were done at Solyndra, which brings to mind that a lot of this was done not only in haste, but it wasn't done, shall we say, with competitive bids, and so there's a whole lot here. I think that carefully and clearly we should go forward, but I think Secretary Chu would be very unwise to take the fifth. He's an executive. He's a Secretary of Energy. He couldn't possibly take the fifth, I think.
Well, I don't think he'll take the fifth, but he will claim executive privilege here. But real quickly, there's nothing that could be done to stop all these billions more in green projects that are going out the door?
We have tried. We have sent a letter to them asking them to hold up. They have indicated they've already obligated these funds. They are not cash out the door. They're guarantees by the federal government. So if they send a letter of guarantee for, let's say, $2 billion or $500 million, that's already been committed. They've told us. Now, we just have to take their word. But again, this is something they should not have done.
All right. Well, you have your work cut out for you. Thank you, Congressman. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil.
And Solyndra executives are going to keep their lips sealed. Did they just seal this president's fate? We're on that after this.